This pseudo new wave rock power ballad seemed to come out of nowhere in 1987. It was armed with an emotional lead vocal. I mean, the song is so haunting, it's almost supernatural, which drove it to #1 all over the world. The story is told next by its singer and songwriter, including an acoustic performance. This is a can't miss, next on Professor of Rock. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. I'm telling you, if you used to watch MTV and VH1 nonstop, all those music videos, back when they actually played music videos, you're gonna love this channel. Make sure that you subscribe below right now. Click the bell so that you never miss out on our daily features. These are the stories of the song straight from the legends, things you won't find anywhere else. And also take a look at our Patreon. I know I say that a lot, but we have exclusive videos there that you won't find here, and I think you'll really dig it. 1987 was a grand year for music. You had Def Leppard, Whitesnake, Guns N' Roses releasing landmark albums on the harder side of rock. George Michael, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, they dominated the charts with their latest releases with blockbuster albums filled with hit singles that were nonstop. U2 and REM were taking college rock to the masses. The Joshua Tree and Document. It was just an amazing time to be young and embracing all of this music as the soundtrack of our lives still is. In the middle of all of this, a band that formed in London in 1985 named Cutting Crew, they released a single that haunted listeners, and they leapfrogged over all of the previous acts that I mentioned. They hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. I just died in your arms tonight. Man, it was a game changer for sure. It also flew to #1 in Canada, Norway, and Finland. It reached the top 5 in the UK, South Africa, Sweden, Switzerland. It's still attracting new listeners. It's one of those go-to songs, for other cultural mediums when trying to create that perfect aura and that feeling of the 1980s. It was used in season 3 of Stranger Things in an iconic moment in that episode. It was used in the Lego Batman movie. My kids loved it.
Hi, Dad.
It's just potently nostalgic. It's a song that puts you in a trance. It's one of those songs also that's a mystery. And many wanted to know at the time and now what the lyrics mean. Well, I was fortunate to spend some time with Cutting Crew lead singer and songwriter Nick Van Eede, who not only gives us insight into the mystery, he also solves it, but he also shares how he created it with his acoustic guitar. He gives us an exclusive breakdown performance. This one is awesome. I'm telling you, you're going to want to see it. As we go into this interview, I want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear. These are the frames that I swear by. I just got this new pair. They're blue horn rimmed. And, they send you so many extras, a beautiful case here. I got sunglasses to go with it. I also put blocks on it to protect my eyes from digital blue light, an anti-glare, anti-fog. And the mirror feature helped me to see how I look before I bought them. You got to treat yourself. Design your own pair at Zenni.com for less than the price of a vinyl record. Go check it out. Here's the story of I Just Died in Your Arms. I just died in your arms tonight. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. We got to talk about that. That is the song that really lit a fire for so many people. Well, it's actually the first U.S. hit for Virgin, right?
Yes, it
Virgin
was.
Records.
We were their boys. Yeah.
Produced by Terry Brown, who did Rush. Mixed by Tim Palmer. I wanted to ask you about that because as a kid, I always tried to figure out, what does this song mean?
I'd split up from my girlfriend. We got back together for one night and, had the fun. And the next morning, I literally did write down those words. You can make the story sexier by saying that I wrote the song that day, but of course I didn't. But it just hung around that lyric for a while.
Yeah.
The story is so unimportant to everything else. It's that title. And titles are everything. Some of the great songs ever have great titles. And I'm not a titleist, But I got lucky there. It's even got brackets, for Christ's sake. You know, I just in brackets, you know.
I know.
I don't know. I obviously did that. So that's how important it felt to me. But that title means so much. You know, it's about sex, it's about love, it's about death, it means anything to so many people. And I think one of the most enduring things about it is, apart from, thankfully, the music side of it, is if you get that absolute extra bit of cream on the top, which is the lyric, like, I want to know what love is. I want to know what love is. One of the greatest songs ever written for me. What the hell does that mean? I still can't find what I'm looking for. You know, you too. Those wonderful titles where you kind of spend the rest of your life going, what is he looking for? I don't know what love is. I just died in your eyes. It's one of those things. I don't mean to put myself in that echelon, but it's that title where people, Japanese men would write to me and go, this is the most beautiful song I've ever written because this means, ugh. And then a guy from Idaho would go, well, it just means about me and the girl in the back, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can pull that off accidentally, totally accidentally, you're cooking. The whole lyric is so special. I mean, I spoke to Bobby Kimball from Toto about this with Africa and lyrics like that. You set the scene, you paste it in, and then you have fun with the lyric and just let them run with it.
I love the lyric about diary sits by the bedside table, cats in the cradle. What a great line. I love it. What was that from? You know?
Whoops. I don't know. I mean, that's where we're coming back to when you just spit stuff out. The melody came really quickly. Died in Your Arms came really quickly. All the verse stuff was kind of sketches. I have, we have a painting in the room we're recording. Imagine that twice the size.
Yeah.
Since I was 18, I have all my best titles, all my best lyric ideas written there. And over the years, the best picture is that of the ones that have been crossed out. And you'll see them through all the other songs. But at that stage, in 1985, there were a lot up there. And I wrote this song on keyboards, and I'm a guitarist-ish. So I wrote it on keyboards. And so I was looking up. Diary, it sits on, looking up. Bedside table, staying in the sun, and a time on the day. Cradle. Cats in the cradle.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but I can't give you too many posh answers. The next one you ask me might be really special to my heart and whatever. But some of them are just rhyming fun and being bold enough to just be Romanian. You know what I mean? I use that expression, sorry, Romania. But you have to go, and then you end up there. So if that's a weird answer, it's an honest answer.
No, I love it.
You can't be brilliant on every line.
No.
You can't.
No.
You can't.
She's loving by proxy is my favorite line.
Give and I'll take, 'cause I've been through to fantasy one too many times. Well, that's heartbreak. I mean, that is absolutely, teenage boy. That's bringing up all that stuff you went through. Some boys never owned up to it. Some boys were the heartbreakers. I broke a few, I guess, but I can think of 2 or 3 now that broke my heart. So it was just being honest about it.
Well, the harmony. You guys were so great at guitar harmony. You'd hear the guitar, the straight line, and then you'd hear the higher harmony part with it, and it would just grab you.
All Kevin. It's all Kevin, but I wrote the song on my own, and I demoed it on my own.
Yeah.
I think it was a 6-track, 6.5 track or something, some horrible piece of equipment. And I wrote it and then played guitar. And then I thought, well, now I'll do this bit. Now I'll do this bit. So when he came over and we finally put the band together, he said, so what do you want to do? I said, well, I got this song. And it was 8 tracks of guitar. Well, mostly in the chorus. And he went, okay, I think I can sort that out. And so he put that into one part.
Yeah.
So the basic body of the guitar, he took my noodlings and made it brilliant. Everything else, all of those motifs, that solo was everything. Terry Brown was the producer of The Drivers, who were my previous band to Cutting Crew. We were out in Canada, and Terry, as you know, sold 20 million, 30 million albums, I don't know, did all the first 7 Rush albums. He's one of those great producers that lets the band have their head and just goes, whoa, 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 whoa. No. That's good, no. And makes it sound fantastic. So I had the idea. Kevin was this beautiful genius, and Terry Brown suddenly came in. So that solo was Kevin playing along, and I said, well, just go, Kev, this is your moment. And Kevin hardly ever used whammy at that point. There was a lot of He was just, he was pumped up.
It was.
And Terry was just brutal with him. Terry would go like, okay, can we just try one more? I'd be like, Kevin, have you got one more in you?
Yeah.
Another pack of cigarettes for Kevin, please.
Yeah.
And he just kept banging at it. So yeah. Nobody will ever lie to you and say these solos are the first ones, but mostly it was.
And the keyboard part, got to ask you about that.
Yeah, that's crucial. Okay, so you can meet your wife, you can have 2 children, you can buy the nice car, you can have the perfect house, and then you go, what's missing? And what's missing is, what would it be? I don't know, the spa. I don't know. But Peter John Vitesse was our spa. I mean, we had everything lined up. The keyboard parts were written. I mean, all of that was written by me. And it sounded like a pub band. Ding, 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 ding. As good as the part is. And then this man came in, this little Scotsman about this high, who had been in Jethro Tull. He was one of the prodigies of Jethro, and had just done Eurythmics, and he was in Go West. He was hot shit, and he cost me a fortune. And he had this bank of keyboard modules like we had in the 80s, all a word that you may not have heard before, folks, MIDI. All basically things plugged in the back, So this triggered this, triggered this, triggered this, triggered this. So that, he had like 85 sounds going on at once. You say, he was smoking. I'm not sure what you think about this, actually. That's my Scottish accent. Actually, but you might like this, so let's have a listen. And I went, that's pretty damn good. So that was 18 sounds all lined up. And it's kind of cool because we fashioned our sounds, whereas now we have anything, we have everything we can do. We still fashion our sounds, but it's very lazy now. We can kind of go, I'll take that 80s Cutting Crew pad, whereas back then we had to make the fucking pad.
When you don't have everything at your fingertips, it almost forces you to be a little more creative.
Well, yeah. So I've told you the story about Dun which was electronic creative, but totally Terry was absolutely mad on that side. Taking a snare, so we'd play. He'd have another snare being triggered in the courtyard outside with and he'd probably go at the end of a day go, no, it's shit. But it may just have been brilliant. We got clever.
Have you heard some of the great covers that people have done of "I Just Died in Your Arms"? Bastille did one.
Yeah, Bastille was good. Yeah.
Oh, I just died in your arms tonight.
Bastille was very good for us because they're a young British band, so the hip factor was great.
Oh yeah.
Put that one on Facebook. It went patouche.
Jason Donovan.
I just died in your arms tonight.
My favorite cover is the Northern Kings. Just astonishing.
I just died in your arms tonight.
And also how it's been used in pop culture, TV, movies, Never Been Kissed.
I just died in your arms tonight.
Really?
Hot Rod.
It must have been something you said.
Hot Tub
Hot
Time
Tub Time
Machine.
Machine.
Adam, hey.
But also Rock Band and Grand Theft Auto,
That was
video
what I was
games.
saying. Grand Theft. Can I
Yeah.
tell you the Grand
Oh,
Theft
yeah,
story?
of course.
Oh, gosh. So this is way back. And I have an email on my wall in my studio that says, "Hey, Nick, Sony ACV Publishing here from London. And we've had a request from some game thing called Grand Theft Auto. I want to use Died in Your Arms." And I was like, yeah, great. I think you can make a lot of money from this sort of stuff. I was thinking, So I remember writing back. So I have the thread on my wall and it goes, "Okay, cool, but just I don't want to get involved in anything too violent, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff around." And they wrote back, "Nothing violent here." And then my thread is, "Okay, go for it."
Oh my gosh. Oh, I know. Wow.
That's cool.
That's a great story.
I mean, I guess I could have written back and gone, but I didn't know until 3. Honestly, we were a pop band, we were on the road. So 2 years later, people are phoning out going like, "Love hearing your song with a guy getting his head blown off."
What I love about your songs, the syncopation of the words, there's no forced word. I love how there's space in your songs and the syncopation, it's like nothing's forced. It just falls right into line.
And that goes back to that thing about, sitting at the keyboard or the guitar and just letting it flow out. You just reflect back and these words come out. I'm not religious at all. I'm a very spiritual person. And I totally believe in the muse. I think there is a thing where you get touched every now and again. It may happen once a month, it may happen once a year, it may happen 6 times a day, I don't know. But you've got to tune into it. And I firmly believe that when you get lucky that way, or you open all your things to let it bring in, it comes in. But then it's your responsibility to go, "I recognize that, that's pretty good." Because most times we're too busy. I remember writing down words sometimes and I think, "Oh my God, where do those words go?" That was the muse again, and it's gone forever. But with Died in Your Arms and Been in Love Before, and maybe 5 or 6 other songs I've written in my life, that came from nowhere. And you have a responsibility then to go, "I'm going to get this down." And I don't know how many other people have told you that in interviews, but I'm 58 now and I'm an older man. And looking back, I totally see that. You get this, and if you're a fool if you don't take those.
Very recently, the song was re-recorded and reissued as an orchestral incarnation, as well as in several other versions as the lead single for the second Cutting Crew compilation album, Ransomed, Healed, Restored, Forgiven, with a new music video, and we'll link to that. The new release for the hit has been through an 8-track EP. Definitely leave us a comment about this 1987 classic. What are your thoughts on Cutting Crew and this song? What are your memories, more importantly? What other 80s classic songs should we cover here? Let us know in the comments. You can get the new version of this song by clicking on our Amazon links. If you like our content, we do invite you to join our community right now by subscribing. And also, you can become an honorary patron to help us keep the music alive. See the link in our description. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends. Stay safe out there.